So most of y'all didn't know, about 2 months ago, my engine seized on my truck I bought. Lost 70 grand in 3 months. Sad story, blah, blah. Anyway, so why did I go to Pamtranspo? So, gotta go back company, right? And at the time I was thinking, you know what? I want to be on home time. I want to be able to. Um, well, first, what I did was I went to this. I went to this company out of Dallas, and we were doing delivering rocks, right? And long story short, I was there for a little bit over a week, um, about 2 weeks. Yeah, a little about 2 weeks. Um, Trained with this guy for a week, uh, and then I got my own truck. They were a small company with like 7 trucks. I was the seventh driver. So day one, I get there, ready to start my day, excited because I'm gonna get to be alone. I'm not gonna have someone sitting next to me that um, you know, I don't even know how I really would explain that because I'm not gonna say I don't like him or I do not like him or I don't like him. I just you know what I mean. He was our personalities were you know how like okay, even my best friend Chris, me and Chris, I love him to death, right? One of my best friends. But me and Chris, like, if we live together, like, it's only gonna last so long. You know what I mean? Because then you start seeing little things people do that irritate you, right? So it's kind of like that type of situation. Anyway, first time I get there, get in my own truck, pull out, lights come on automatically, lights up like a Christmas light, Christmas tree. As soon as I pull out onto the road, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh my God, what the? Pull back in the yard. Okay, we got a guy going to come work on it. This, that, and the third. It should be ready in a few days. Said okay. A few days later, we get back to work. They're paying me too because it's not my fault. I'm not working. Pull out onto the road. Lights up like a Christmas tree. As soon as I pull out, I'm like, this has happened twice. There is no way this has happened twice. So I pull back in the yard. Same thing. Okay, well, give me a few more days. Woody the third, right? This is like on like a Friday or something like that. Get there on Monday. Um, I ask him, did you drive it? Did you drive the truck? Woody the third, right? And he's like, no, I didn't drive it, but this, that, and I'm like, well, how do you know it's still, you know what I mean? So 3 times, hop in the truck. Pull out the yard. As soon as I hit the street, lights up like a Christmas tree. So I said, okay, that's okay. Okay. Long story short, I left that company, right? So then, I'm back to the point where I'm looking for a job, and I had seen Pam had this load. First they had, I saw Pam had a Laredo to Detroit back and forth, 3,000 a week. Straight up and down 35 to 80. 3,000 miles a week, dedicated route, same thing every day, right? Cool. I didn't want to do that because I don't want to go OTR. I don't want to be in Detroit during the winter. You know what I mean? So I didn't do it at that point. That was like about a month or two early before I went to that local company. I saw that on Indeed. So I see this load on Indeed, and it says Laredo to Arlington. Dedicated, and it wasn't under Pam, it was under something else. Dedicated, and you dedicated back and forth, right? It's like, yeah. So anyway, I called the guy. I'm like, hey man, I saw this. Saw you guys had some, lows on Woody the third, and he's like, yeah, it's a dedicated route, Arlington to Laredo, back and forth. You'd be home every other night. I said, what about night driving? Because I don't want to. I'm not driving overnight. So he says, "Oh no, don't worry about it. You good? Yeah, you good? Yeah, you good? Right? Okay, cool." Puts in my information. He says, "Oh, you are already in our system, in Pam's system. I work for Pam. So in order for you to get this, you have to go through Pam. I can do nothing else with you." So I said, "Okay, cool, whatever." It's kind of weird. I never heard that before, but okay. So I called Pam, and I talking to the dude, and I'm like, because I had talked to him about this that dedicated route, right, from Laredo, just to kind of get the details on it, and on the tele app, you just send it in. This is no big deal, right? So, what happened after that? Oh yeah, so he's like, yeah. So I'm talking to him about, I'm like, hey man, saw that you guys had this route from Laredo to Arlington. He's like, I was trying to get some, details on it. He's like, okay, so it'll be like you'll be back in Arlington, you'll be back in Dallas every other night. You'll be back in Dallas every other night, 6-hour shifts, easy. Boom. From Arlington to Laredo, drop and hook there, pick that trailer up, bring it back. Might have a live unload, or you might have a and I have all this in writing too, by the way, just in case anyone wants to question. Um, um, but it's how it went that turned it sour. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh man, like I'm like, so how much are you taking home a week? So you take home 2,000. You should be taking home 2,000 plus every week. So you're home every other night. 34 hours set Friday night, reset Friday night. So you have Friday night off, Saturday night off, you leave sometime on Sunday. What? That is crazy. I'm like, okay, dude, that sounds great. Hold on. The only deal breaker that I have is I don't want to drive overnight. I'm not driving overnight. So he's like, I was like, so is there a daytime driving available? He's like, yeah. I mean, daytime, that's not a problem. That's not an issue, not at all. Now remember, this is the only deal breaker, right? I understand. This is the only deal breaker. So, so, um, so then I'm like, okay, cool. So, he's like, hey, all right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and, fill out a new Intelli app, and, we're gonna run your background, send you for a drug test, this, that, and the third. With this, that, some just kept telling me, like, bro, this just sound kind of too good to be true. Like, I'm like, I'm like, okay, cool. So then, I'm like, but hey, before I go take this drug test, because I don't want you guys paying for a drug test if I'm not going to be there. I don't want to drive overnight. I want to make sure that I'm not going to be driving overnight, because the local company told me I wasn't going to be driving overnight. And when I got there to the trainer was telling me she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. So, my dad does the same type of work, and he's like, yeah, you gotta, most people are gonna be overnight, stuff like that. I'm like, what? Well, so she told me, well, it wasn't overnight, but you had to be at the yard at 4 in the morning. She said some of the drivers get there at 6:37, and he told me once I got into that trainer's truck, she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. If you aren't at this yard at 4 a.m., you're not going to make any money here. So I had to be there at 4 a.m. So that was I was staying in Fort Worth, hour drive there. What was it? No, it was like 30 minutes, right? 45 minutes. It was an hour drive back with traffic. So, I get there at 4:30, get off at 4:30, an hour home. That gets me home about 6. And then, take a shower. That gets me about 7. And then, like 5. And I got to leave by 3 a.m. So 5, I'm maybe getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep. No life at all. So I'm not living like that. And I was only going to be making like $1,300 a week. I said, what? Like, huh? I know I ain't gonna be making $3,000 a week I was making as an owner operator, but dang, bro, I want something. I don't want to just slave my whole damn life away. You know what I'm saying? And I like to work out. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I kept asking him, you don't have to drive overnight, right? Because one, everything's closed at night. if I'm gonna have the weekends and stuff off, I want to be able to work out first of all, and I want to be able to, if I have to go run errands or something like this, something like that, Okay, so now let's get into where we're with Pam now, right? So that's 3 times already. I told them, and they told me yes, yes, yes. Don't worry about it. You don't have to drive overnight. So I go take the drug test. Drug test comes back. Then they tell me, hey, we're gonna send you a flight to El Paso you're gonna pick a truck from El Paso, and then we're gonna get you back here, and you'll get on your dedicated route. So I said, cool. Got me in there, got me a hotel, bruh. Just they got me a hotel, man. I wouldn't have paid to stay there if it was my money. That's not where I would have stayed. I would have rather sleep in my car. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, whatever. So then, okay. This is like on a Sunday. Monday morning comes, they give me Ubers. They took care of me this way. They got me Uber to the yard in El Paso, Uber home, Uber to the yard whenever I need to get there, right? So Uber to the yard Monday morning. Get there. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, hey, I'm here. I'm kind of giddy-eyed because I just got this route, and I'm gonna be taking home $2,000 a week, and I'm gonna be home every other night. You know what I mean? Like, this is gold. Like, you know what I mean? So I get there, and no one's there. Like I don't see anyone, and see a shop guy. I'm like, hey man, I'm here to supposed to be picking out my truck today. And I see trucks, but they look like they all with stuff in them. So he's like, yeah, you gotta go up to the window, talk to that lady. We're in the third, right? Okay, cool. Go up to the window. She's like, you gotta go over here, talk to these guys in the shop. I said, okay, cool. Go over to the shop. Hey, I'm supposed to be picking out a truck. The Woodland Warden, you're supposed to be picking out a truck. I said, well, we only have one truck available. So, attitude. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Okay, cool. I'm like, all right, well, shit, I'm already out here in El Paso. I'm going to be making the money. I'm going to be home every night. Be able to party on the weekends. It's going to be good. Whatever, we'll just deal with it. Let me see the truck. Go to the truck. Truck's dirty. Hasn't been cleaned. Fluids are empty. Fluids are empty. Washing fluid. What do you call it? Everything's empty, right? Underneath the engine. Everything. I'm just like, what the fuck? This bitch is dirty. Like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe they just hadn't got a chance to clean it out, right? It's like, cool. So then I go back over to the shop, and I'm like, hey, yeah, cool. I'm going to go ahead and rock with it. So when are you guys planning on cleaning it? He said, we don't clean it. We don't detail. Okay, whatever. I'll clean myself. I go back up here. She's like, okay, cool. I'm going to get them on the phone, and you're going to talk to the guys over there, and, then they're going to, get you, all the information. You're going to sign your contract and all that stuff, right? I'm like, okay, cool. So then once we did all that, I said, so is there another key? Because there's only one key in there. And she was like, go back to the shop. Deal with these dudes again, bro. Walk back over there to the shop. Hey, man, I was wanting to see if you guys had the second key. You need 2 keys? Bro, right there, I was like, bro, well, wouldn't you want 2? You want 2 keys to your car, right? To your car vehicle? You want 2 keys, right? And he's like, so then he just, he's like, come back with a key. And he was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, okay, cool. Just take the key and go. I'm like, okay, cool. So, take the key, walk off, and call my dispatch. Hey, man, we are good to go. I got the truck, I'm ready to roll. All right, well, I don't have anything right now, man, so probably just going to send you back to the hotel, and we got to find you a load back to Dallas. I said, okay, cool. Go back to the hotel. Call me the next day. We got you a load back. That's cool. All right. So James, that's when he called me. He gets me the load back, and and I kind of just we was just talking, and I'm just asking him kind of how does it work? How did we book the? He's like, yeah, we're gonna book your week up, and this, that, and the third. And what is do you have any? He was just asking me questions or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, long as we running from like 6 a.m. until midnight, if we have to push it past midnight a little bit, I can do, if we have to, I can deal with it. But long as we in between there, I'm good. And he said, okay, get back to Dallas on a Saturday, Friday or Saturday. No, yes, it was on a Friday or Saturday. First thing, get a call on like Saturday. He's real sick, so he's like talking kind of weird, right? And I'm like, he's coughing and stuff, and I'm just like, kind of getting like every third word. But what I did get was, he said, all right, so we don't have any loads. And my dispatch had already told me, this is on Saturday because he was off on Saturday. He told me Friday, if we don't have anything right now, we'll make it right. You know what I'm saying? We'll get you booked up on your, because you're only gonna get 3 loads. You leave on Sunday, deliver on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because you go to Laredo's, drop and hook out there every time. So then what happened after that? Yeah, so he's like, so don't worry, right? We'll do on the third. I'm like, okay, cool. So even if I don't get a load Sunday, I'm still gonna get a load Monday, or I'm still gonna get a load to deliver, cause my week I wanted to end on Friday. So I told him, I was like, hey, if we don't have a load by Sunday, you know what I mean? So I can deliver one day, that's fine. I'll just wait until Tuesday to head to Laredo, and then that way I get back on Wednesday and I get back on Friday. So we still on the schedule. So I'd rather just take that sacrifice in the beginning and then keep rolling. And he said, okay, cool. So then I get a call on Saturday. We don't have any racks there. And I had just spoke to another guy that said, well, we don't have any right now, but we're definitely going to have some tomorrow. I said, okay, cool. This guy calls and he's like, hey, I want you to run these trailers back and forth from 6 to 9, 6 to something like that. I'm like, from 9 to 6. So I said, okay, cool. I was like, all right, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.? Yeah, let's go. He's like, no, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. First load, back home. What did I just tell you from the whole beginning? Before I took drug test, before I flew out there, when I got my first load, what have I been saying this whole time? Well, you're telling me you don't want to take the loads up? We're not going to have any racks. That's how he said it too. Exactly how he said it. I said, nah, man, because I've already told you guys multiple times I don't want to run. Click. I'm like, hung up in my face, bro. At Pamtranspo, hung up in my face. I swear to God. So then, I get a call first thing Monday morning. Andrew Moore, super cool. Guy named Hunter, super cool. Those are really the only ones I talk to most of the time, and they were awesome. So what happened after that? So Monday morning comes. Andrew calls. All right, James. So we didn't have any loads on Sunday. And so let's go ahead and book your week up. All right, so we get the loads. And then he says, I also want to ask you, because I was told that we offered you some work and you wouldn't take it to help us out. I was like, he wanted me to run overnight. Now, if I would have ran overnight Saturday into Sunday, I'm supposed to leave Sunday morning. I was told there's a chance that we could still get some racks, and I would still be able to leave on Sunday. And he's like, so is driving overnight an issue for you? I was like, Andrew, is it an issue? I've already told you. I told you on my first load. I told 3 people before I did any of this process. I don't want to drive overnight. If he said, so you're saying you're not gonna drive overnight? I'm telling you that if I have the choice to choose between morning loads, run during the day, or running during the night, that I'm going to run during the day. But if the loads come across the border late and we gotta push it later into the night, I can deal with that. But I'm not. If you're telling me that I have to run overnight, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like if that's what I have to do. And he says, okay, well, let me talk to my boss, and so okay, cool. 2 or 3 weeks go by, no issues, all daytime loads, all daytime, all of them delivering at like anywhere from 3 to 8 p.m. So you know what I mean. I'm waking up, leaving Laredo by 6 or 7. You know what I mean. It's a 6-hour drive. Get here, deliver. Yard is across town. I'm at a 6 or 7 hour day going to sleep. So it was cool. This is when it got bad. 2 or 3 weeks later. It's only lasted a week. Who this dude? What's his name again? Jake something. Jake. Oh my good God. Oh, Jake. Yeah, Jake. Oh, Jake. Whew, Lord have mercy. This guy right here, bro, I did not like him. It would have never worked anyway. The way he talks, how disrespectful he is and condescending he talks. There's no way. It would have never worked anyway. With him, no way. What's his name? Jake something. God, I want to work. What is his name? Where's my other phone at? I want to really say what his name is so I can let you know exactly who I'm talking about. Is what I want to do. Because Jake something. Jake, his name is Jake, right? Yeah, because I call him Jake from State Farm. Yeah, that's him. Okay, cool. I don't know what my other phone is. Okay, cool. So Andrew gets moved to OTR. And now Jake takes over his role permanently. Okay. First time ever talking to Jake. Sunday. Saturday, or it was like Friday or something. Yeah, it was a Friday. He says, hey, what's up, man? I'm gonna be your new dispatch. And we're doing the third, so I wanna, call and get you planned up for the week. I said, okay, yeah, cool, let's do it, let's go. He said, okay, so I got a load delivering in Arlington Monday at 9 a.m. Said Monday at 9 a.m. So that means I have to deliver it overnight, right? Yeah. No, I'm not. I don't want to drive overnight. What do you mean you don't want to drive overnight? I told you guys 3 times before I got here, I don't want to drive overnight. That was an issue. Well, if you're telling me you're not gonna drive overnight, then I'm gonna take you off the lane. Is that an issue? I say yes, that's an issue. Okay, hangs up the phone. Jay from State Farm. Ooh, man, I'm not your biggest fan, bro. I don't like you at all. I ain't like you, brother. I do not like you at all. Not even a little bit. So then he calls me back. And he says, oh no, OTR calls me. OTR calls me and is like, hey, so I was told you don't want to drive overnight. That's an issue for you. Like, yeah, man, I told you guys this 3 times before I even got here that I didn't want to drive overnight. And he says, oh, I understand. Oh, okay. All right, well, let me get with them and then don't worry about it. We'll get you taken care of. And I was like, okay, cool. And Jay calls me again. And he says, okay, man. Yeah, so, we're going to get you in the OTR. And, I'm sorry that this happened to you. I'm sorry that we weren't honest with you. And, I appreciate you for being respectful. You were always so polite. And, I'm thinking about the way he just talked to me before that, right? So I'm just, just like, yeah, okay, Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, no, yeah, man. So I'm also planning out the future as well. So I'm thinking, okay, I may only be here for another week, and I still on my truck with them. I haven't called them yet, so they're gonna know after I post this video for sure. Um, so uh, he said, all this was in the third, and he's like, yeah, man. Well, no, that's what he was saying, all that polite stuff, and then I told him, I was like, yeah, so there's no way that you know or somewhere. I feel. Anyway, that conversation. Oh yeah, so I was like, so there's no way that because I'm going on vacation after Friday anyway. This is like a week earlier, so I'm going on vacation after Friday anyway. So we can't just do what we've been doing. So I don't know, man, because we got these loads overnight, but you threw a wrench in that. I said, see, you keep bringing up what I did, but I told you guys before I got here that I didn't want to work overnight. That was the only deal breaker. That's what I told you. So anybody with common sense would feel like you playing games with me, right? You playing games with me. Anybody with common sense would feel like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So then, he's like, I'll see what I can do. I said, okay. He gets me one load. Sunday, I'm on my way there on Sunday. Calls him back immediately. I got your load back. Cool. Boom, boom. Come back, go back. And once I get back to the yard, this is where it got real. This is where, you know what I mean? Like, bro, what makes you think you can just talk to people? And Jake, what makes you think you can just talk to people any type of way? Like, your life has to be miserable. It has to be. Because there's no way you live a life talking to people like you do, and what you just said, how I treated you and how you were talking to me, there's no way in hell you have a life that you like. There's not 0% chance, bro. There's 0% chance. So anyway, yeah, so then, okay, Tuesday, or no, I delivered on Monday, right? Because then we would go back Tuesday and come, yeah. So, Monday. So I get back there Monday night. And once I get back there Monday night, I go to the drop yard, drop the trailer, pick up an empty trailer, take it across town. When I pull into it, there's a lot of old trailers at Pam. So, it happened a few times, so it's kind of understandable, right? So, drop the trailer on the yard. Once I disconnect the power source, the whole port comes out, right? And I work out, I'm a little bit strong, but I'm not that strong, right? So I'm just like, you know what? Okay, what did we do last time? First time this happened, I call dispatch immediately. Hey, Hunter, hey, man, so, disconnecting the power source, power port just comes out. I can see where they tried to glue it back on before. So, I just want to let you guys know. He's like, okay, cool. He's like, no, but who you need to call and let know about that is road service, because they're the one who handles that. And I said, okay, cool. Next time I know. So Monday, get back there Monday night, drop it, boom. It's like, oh, boom. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. Let me call road service again. Call road service. Hey man, so just drop the trailer off at the yard, and pull the power thing out. The whole damn thing comes out, and it's here right in front of the trailer shop where they get fixed. It's on the yard. He's like, oh man, awesome. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for giving us a call. Thanks for just basically like thanks for doing your job, right? So it's like, okay, cool. 7 a.m. the very next morning, phone call, boom. This is James. Hey James, this is Jake. What's up, Jake? Hey man, I got you a load going back to Laredo, and then I'm sure I can get you a load back on Wednesday. What trailer were you pulling last night? Yeah, well, the trailer that I was pulling is out of service now because the shop has to fix it, the power port. And did you even call and let us know? I was like, from my understanding, what I was told in the 3 weeks I've been here was I'm supposed to let road service know because that's who deals with that. Man, you're not gonna get a load now, right? Yeah, that's just So right, okay. So I'm just like, okay. So then, one day goes by, 2 days goes by, Thursday. I'm like, well, I can still get a load Thursday, come back Friday and still go on vacation, or whatever it is I'm doing, right? So, Wednesday comes. Hey, man, just want to make sure we're not going to be able to get another load. You said you were going on vacation on Friday. So, if I picked up the load Thursday, took it to Laredo, brought it back Friday would be my last day of work. You said Friday. Remember, this is the guy that he was talking about is so respectful and so polite. Jake, bro, I'm not your fan, bro. I'm not a fan of you at all, bro. You ever see me in person and you want to tell me how much of a fan you are of mine? I would love to, anytime. Love to have that conversation with you. So, what did he say after that? He said, you said you're going on Friday. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to leave after Friday. He said, I'm like, so do we have any loads I could take to Laredo today? It's Thursday? No? Okay, Jake, thanks, man. Hey, I appreciate it, bro. You've been a great help. You've been so much help, man. Thank you. He said, I said, okay. That was it. Last person I talked to. That was my experience at Pamtranspo.